Yo guys, it's getting exciting for altcoins, and I always wanted to make a video where I say, why is nobody talking about this? Well, because most influencers are stupid shillers, but let's keep it real right here. Altcoins are in for a huge move if I look at this chart right here, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why and how you should be prepared. I've been preaching about this a lot lately, and now it's getting really exciting, and after that I'm gonna let it rest, man, and we'll see how it's going to play out. We'll talk about some other stuff then, but first, welcome to the FOMO Factory. Of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, like the video, and leave a nice comment with something, I don't know. The thing is, let me jump in it right away. Altcoins are still in this downward trend, right? This is the total 3, so the whole market excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and just like Bitcoin was until January, altcoins are still in this falling wedge right here. Now, to begin positive, falling wedges usually break out to the upside, definitely. But it doesn't mean that before they go up, they come down. Now, what am I seeing when I look at this chart right here? Well, we tried to break out right here, right? But it didn't work. We did not get that clean retest and went up. In fact, we broke right through it and got down right here. Now what I see is I have this song in my head, man. I don't know if you ever heard it, but it's like, oh, we knocking on resistance door. And it's exactly what happens. Sorry, my ADHD. It's not that I'm funny or anything, but I just don't care. But we are knocking at resistance right here. But how long can you keep knocking at resistance before a move is about to happen? Right now, either move is going to be big, right? If we break out and it's up, it's probably a big move. If we break down, yeah, it's a long way to go down before we are at the lower side of the wedge, right? Now, what I'm seeing right here is we are trying for multiple days already, and we keep getting rejected. And basically, the only thing that is holding us up is this 200 weighted moving average, right? This red line. This is our current support. For the rest, there is no single support for us for altcoins at this point. And if I look at resistance, 50 weighted moving average support, the 100 weighted moving average resistance, the 100 resistance, the bear market resistance band in this case, or the bull market support band, resistance. This line that we were talking about, which was, you know, making the bear market a bear market since November 21, resistance, right? We got rejected every single time we went here. Right? Now the only difference is when we were here, it started. Here we got 1 day rejected. Here we tried a couple of days rejected. We are now here for a while. So yes, it is showing some steam. Why is it showing some steam? It's because Bitcoin is really running. It went from 15K to 30K. Well, okay, that may be the fact that altcoins are at least holding up at the upper side of this range, right? But altcoins did not manage to at least break out like Bitcoin did 4 months ago, right? So you could say like, oh, altcoins are strong. Nah, altcoins are running behind 4 months so far, and it's sitting in a major resistance area. Now, like I said, the only thing that is holding us up is the 200 weighted moving average, right? And this line, especially this diagonal line, is our big enemy for the bulls. So what I'm looking at basically, if you look at how this line moves, right? It's going pretty sideways as long as altcoins are going pretty sideways as well. So if it's going to be something like this, right, then it should not take too long for altcoins to make a decision, right? Are we going to break to the upside or to the downside? It's getting very exciting. We could hover around this area for, well, 1 week, maybe 1.5 weeks. Maybe the move is going to happen tomorrow. I don't know, but this is the max that we have. It's usually not the case that we break out and then just continue to go sideways. It's the end of a macro pattern in this case. It's not even a small time frame, right? If you put it on the weekly, you can see how accurate this thing is. Especially compared to 2018, where we had the same move where we broke to the upside, fake out, downside, went to the lowest side, not even the lowest side, we went below it, and people lost. If you invested $1,000 here, you probably had like 100 here, something like that. It was fucked up. Now, so far it's exactly what's happening. I'm not saying this will happen, but so far it's exactly what's happening. Stochastic RSI is also getting down on the weekly, which is pretty good. I mean, once we are down here, we could stay there for a while, but at least we get a retest of it someday. And if altcoins are holding up so far, then yeah, it's good, man. They have some room to go up. But overall, I do think that all these resistances right here, all these resistances are stronger than this one single line of support. Nevertheless, crypto always surprises you, so you do not know, but it's a chance game, right? So that's what I'm looking at, and depending on how this line moves exactly, I don't give this any longer than May the 14th before we see a huge move for altcoins. Now, what we can take a look at though is if we put a Fibonacci tool over this, because Fibonacci tools are extremely accurate indicators. So let's take a look what we can expect if we take this thing from the downside to the point where it stopped making these highs, right? That's here. And this is quite funny because I've drawn it from here, right, to here. And you see all the important levels in between, right? The 0.318, accurate, super accurate. You see, this is exactly where we bounced multiple times. So even if it's not for this 200 weighted moving average, it's at least this Fibonacci level that is giving us the same range. So this is an important level. Now, the Fibonacci tool, what's important about that is that the 0.5 and the 0.618, that's basically the golden zone. The golden zone is basically where you want to enter your trades, right? You can see right here as well, we had this big crash, and it kind of ended up, if you forget about this part of the wick, it ended up in the golden zone, right? If you load up on altcoins there, you made a nice move, right? And the 0.382 and the 0.618, and if shit really goes crazy, the minus 1.618 are your take profit points. So the levels that I'm looking at based on the Fibonacci tool is this. If we break to the upside, at least, right? Then my entry would be around 330 and 346 billion. So if we go down, we might get a bounce here. So I will dollar cost a small amount of my money because I think that if we do go down, eventually we will go down further. But for a shorter term move, I think this is a good place to enter the trade. Right, so enter the trade. And if we then do go up, right, then it's important to know that this right here is your first take profit point. This should be your second take profit point. Now, it doesn't happen a lot, but it could be that if it really goes crazy, this is your third take profit point, right? So that's currently what I'm looking at. But yeah, overall, that's if the move goes up, right? And I must say that I don't think the move is going to go to the upside of it. So what happens if we go down? So if we go down, we should take the Fibonacci tool from the point where it stopped making its highs, which was here, right? Let me draw it right next to the other one, otherwise we have it all mixed up. To the point where it stopped making lows, which was here. Okay, so this is the Fibonacci prediction for if shit goes down. Now, the entry zone is always, like I said, the golden zone between these levels. This is perfectly where we are sitting right now, by the way. So, and in this case, the entry zone is when it comes down, should be your exit zone, okay? So keep that in mind, please. So if you feel like, okay, there's a high chance that we do go down, this might be a point that if you are a little too overexposed to altcoins, where you might want to sell some. The first level to look out for is the zero, is the 0.382, like I said, and the 0.618. And if shit really goes bad, to minus 0.618, but that's not relevant, I think, for this case, although it's some support right there, whatever. So these are the levels that Fibby says are quite important. So the first one is right here. And what is right there? Exactly this point where these two lines come together, where they, finally meet. Right? It's a coincidence, but it's at least, sorry, my ADHD is stupid. But it's at least a level that Fibonacci says, which is one of the most important levels. And use these Fibonacci tools. I have a short uploaded a couple of days ago on how to use this. If you want me to, leave a comment and make a full video about it, how to pull up your settings and etc. But it's very accurate, right? So this should be the first level. Now, yeah, if you ask me, that's quite interesting since that's exactly here, right? And what happens usually in these falling wedges? Well, these falling wedges, they go down, 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 down. At a certain point, we will get to a level where we will bounce, right? And then break up to the upside. It's not what's going to happen, but usually that's how it ends. Yeah, it could be here. That's what I've drawn, but that's that's what I've drawn move-wise, not timing-wise necessarily. Okay, so it could definitely be that it happens right here. And that gives us some indication about not only the price, but also when it is going to happen. So what I do see in this chart is that if we go down first, right? Which should be nice if you are prepared. I mean, that could change your life way more than if you buy right here, right? Then you will get a chance in around October, November 2023, which lines up pretty okay, knowing that altcoins usually bottom around a year after Bitcoin bottoms. Right? If you follow my videos, you know that I've been saying that and showing you that. And when did Bitcoin bottom? In October, November 2022. So it makes a lot of sense that could happen. So this is a level that I have my eyes on. This is not my worst case scenario though, because if you look at what happened the last cycle, again, we had the same pattern, right? We broke out a couple of days, got rejected, fell back in, and even went below the point where we broke out, and we went below it. From the moment we got that rejection above that line to where we bottomed was 61% down. Okay, let's say that this is a similar move, right? That we broke above it here, got rejected, and then goes 60% down, which will put altcoins here, right? So my best case scenario, in case that we do go down, is around this level. Worst case is here. Now, do I think that the worst case scenario is going to play out? Not necessarily. I do want to keep in mind that it could happen. I mean, also, if you look at the macro, of course, altcoins are not running behind for no reason. It's fully Bitcoin season, and that's just because it's a little unsure still, right? Which altcoins are going to be securities? How about the regulations? Is there a recession coming? Believe me, in a recession, Bitcoin will do relatively fine compared to altcoins. People don't want to gamble. Altcoins there is no single altcoin which is less high risk or less risk than, less high risk than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most safe asset. Right, so in a recession, people don't care about making money; they just don't want to lose money. So believe me, people are not jumping into altcoins like they're doing now with Pepe and all that nonsense. Right? These times will be totally different than what it is right now if we get one. So yeah, and but if we go that low, I don't know about that necessarily, because here we had a run up and we fell pretty hard in the first place, right? We did not fell that hard in the first place here, so we did not have that big bounce over here, so we probably won't see that big of a correction as well. It's the same kind of move maybe, but maybe less percentages. And yeah, my other point to look at is the 0.618 minus 0.618, which is around 200 billion, give or take. And again, guys, you have to remember, I'm saying this a lot, it doesn't sound like that much maybe, right? I mean, 40% down, 45% down. So if you're like, if my altcoins temporarily go down max 40%, it's not that bad. You have to remember this is the total 3, which includes everything as well, stables, right? But these don't go down. So what do your altcoins going to do? Go down way harder, right? So in reality, 60, 70, 80% is going to play out if this move is going to happen. And that's a big hit on your portfolio, let alone the chance that you are missing if you do not have the money to buy here because you felt like, nah, that can't happen. It can happen. It happened before. Why can't it happen now, right? Keep it in mind. And I'm not betting big on the fact that it will go down that low, but I will keep cash on the sideline in case it happens, right? I'm not going to completely bet against my own predictions, of course. It's weird. So yeah, this is kind of my best and worst case scenario for altcoins. So yeah, let me put it like this to make it very clear. This right here. One, very ugly one, right here, two, and right here, three. Okay, so if we go up, I will give you the exact levels on the total three. If we break out, if we break out, my first point to take some profits will be around 440 billion. My second point where I will take some profits around 470 billion. And my third point where I'm going to take some profits is around 580 billion. And again, also exactly where we had this, like it's very accurate, such a Fibonacci tool. If you draw it, you can see these levels coming up way more. It's quite funny. That's my goal. Because do I think we won't go higher than this? Yes, we will in a bull run, but you have to remember, if we break out, it won't be in a straight line, right? We will probably break out, do whatever the hell we want to do right there, and then come down, maybe retest somewhere, maybe lower, I don't even know. But then it's good to already take some profits at least. You don't want to be in the camp where it goes up and you ride the wave, you make money, and it goes down again and your money is gone. Then what were you doing all the time, basically, right? Stupid. Yeah, of course, unless you suck at trading and you feel like, man, I just want to hold for the long term and I'll see in the bull run what I take out of it, fine, also good, whatever. But this is, you know, if you take some profits on the way, that's the most profitable, of course. Worst case scenario, if we break down, then I think we will go towards, well, this is not completely on point, sorry for this. Come on, man, well, whatever the one might be. I can even draw a one like, it's ugly. So, okay, let me, here we go, sorry for that. So this is my first level, one, so this is around 230 billion. Okay, my second level where I will buy into altcoins, right, is around 200 billion. And my third level, if it ever reaches that, is around 160 billion, give or take, right? And if I miss out on this, I don't care. I have a good entry, way better than where we are right now, right? Fuck that. You have to be all in around the bottom, of course. It's not possible to time it that correctly, but these are the levels that I'm currently looking at. I think it's very important to at least have some kind of a plan. So yeah, I think this is something you should definitely keep in mind if you want to play this altcoin game. So best case scenario, worst case scenario. All right. Let me know what your thoughts are, by the way. Because I'm just a dude with a camera. Doesn't make me any better than anybody else, of course. I'm just sharing my thoughts on it. So I would like you to share your thoughts as well, of course. And we'll see how this is going to play out. I do think that, again, if we go down, it will take a while. It will take maybe the rest of the year for altcoins to bottom out. If we do break up, the move can happen very fast. Okay, we saw that with Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin broke out in January. It's now, the beginning of May. So around 4 months later, not even 4 months, and Bitcoin is already sitting a lot higher, right? Let's say we break out today. Yeah, it can take like maybe June, July for us to hit the first target, right? This is a big move. The first target doesn't seem like a lot. Again, this includes stables. So 20%, you know, it's actually, I don't know, 40% on your altcoins. Depends. Low caps, more. High caps, less. We'll see. I think there's going to be a big move if it happens. But like I said before I'm going to buy, if it goes up, before I'm buy, last thing, I want to see a clear breakout, retest, buy that retest, and then go up. Because then you're buying at the same point as where the people buy now as well, but the difference is they buying the resistance and you will be buying the support, right? Well, you tell me who's going to be the winner of that. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, like the video, turn on the bell notification after you subscribe to the channel. Got a lot of interesting stuff coming up this week, so stay tuned.